Hi, I'm Chef Tina Jo and welcome to Splendor in the Raw. Today we're going to make what I call a superfood salad. It's with kale and bok choy. Now kale is packed with beta carotene, vitamin C, and calcium. Plus it contains minerals such as iron, magnesium, and potassium. Now listen, bok choy is no loser either. It's loaded with some major nutrients like vitamin A, C, and also calcium. So I'm starting to feel better already. Now you see why this is called a superfood salad. So we're going to get started. The first thing I want to do is show you a technique called chiffonade. It's a very fancy word and it really just means how to roll and cut your green leaves in a particular fashion. So the first thing we're going to do is just trim off the vein of this kale, because that is definitely the toughest part. And it's not too pleasant to chew into. And put that in my juicing bowl. And what you do, and you can do this with any green leaf, it's a beautiful technique. You simply roll the leaf. I'll do that later. Take your knife and just make thin cuts. And what you'll wind up with, if you're sneaking and looking in my bowl over there, you'll see are some beautiful ribbons. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So that's called chiffonade. So I did that already a little bit earlier. I'm going to put that in my juicing bowl with this kale. So we're going to add that to our mixing bowl. Isn't that pretty? Love it. And also the bok choy, and I did this earlier also. So pretty. This recipe is really super simple. It's delicious and it's really good for you. Now the trick here is to add your salt, and I use Himalayan salt, and you just sprinkle the salt throughout your greens. And you want to massage the greens, and you do that by just really getting in there and mixing. Don't be afraid to use a little bit of pressure. And what this technique does, the massaging, actually helps create kind of a cooked texture. Really softens the kale. Makes it quite palatable. And you can see already that the kale is taking on a different texture, an almost, well, wilted kind of look. It's lovely. See how much it shrunk already? Isn't that fabulous? Okay, so I'm going to let this sit, and we're going to start to add a few of our other ingredients. I want to also show you a very clever way to cut a pepper, a red pepper in this instance. This enables you to get some really fine cuts out of your pepper. So you want to cut the end, get a nice stabilizing cut, and you're going to rotate it over to the stem. You're not going to cut all the way through, you can see that. You're just cutting the cap off. Now pull it off. Got this beautiful little circle, which you can certainly use. Reach in there and get out your seeds. And simply cut down the side of the pepper. And I want to get a clean cutting board so you can see this magic that's going to happen here. Roll your pepper out. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? So now you can get some really thin slices for a julienne cut. And you can cut these whatever thickness you want, however you want to do this, and just go all the way through. And so what I did earlier was I did a nice thin julienne cut, and I simply flipped it around and did a nice dice. Isn't that simple? Love it. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to go ahead and add the red pepper now to our kale and bok choy mixture. Next I'm going to add the carrots. And the carrots I did the same type of cut on. I did a julienne cut first with the mandolin, and then I went ahead and cut it into fine pieces. And we're going to mix that in. Next is the green onion. Add that to our bowl. And the sesame seeds. And almonds. We've got some phenomenal ingredients in this dish. Again, incredibly healthy. So bring your bowl back to center and go ahead and just mix this up. Can you see how pretty this is? It's really, really fabulous. Beautiful salad. Okay. And you see what that salt has already done? Love it. So we're going to stop here, put our bowl aside, and now we're going to go ahead and make our dressing. Okay, so now for the dressing. The first thing we're going to do is add our oils. When using a mixer, you always want to have your water content at the base. This way you're ensured to have a good mixture. So we're going to add the flax oil, our sesame oil, the almond butter, which I love, and this is yellow miso going in now, and this is agave, which is a sweetener. This is made from the agave plant. Mustard, a little bit of cayenne, give it a little spice. Don't be afraid, it's not too spicy, I promise. Just a little kick. And now for the ginger. I have to tell you, I really love this recipe, especially the ginger. Did you know that ginger will soothe nausea and stop diarrhea? And it's also been used in Europe to relieve menstrual cramps and treat the common cold along with headaches. And some really new reports of health benefits of the ginger are that it may stop cancer from spreading. So, hey, I'm all about the ginger. So this is going to be loud. And I'm using the Vitamix mixer. You can use any mixer to create this dressing. Bear with me. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add our dressing. Get this out of the way. Our beautiful salad. Just simply pour it right on top of your greens. And mix. And I am telling you folks, this is a beautiful dish. It is so tasty, and people will not believe it's not cooked. That's how tender the leaves become after massaging them. So make sure you give this recipe a try. I'm going to show you how absolutely beautiful this dish is. It's fantastic. So for this recipe and many more, just tune in to SplendorInTheRaw.com. I'm Tina Jo. See you next time. Bye-bye.